Hi friends, my name is Jess and welcome back to my channel, Books Past Bedtime, and welcome back to a vlogmas. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for 2023. I do film one of these videos every single quarter, so these are the books that are releasing in January, February, and March that I am most excited about. And if you want to see the books that I highlight on my channel throughout the year, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. But before we get into talking about the books that I'm most excited for, I do want to thank Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video today. Ana Luisa is an everyday luxury jewelry brand with a focus on sustainability, and right now you can get the great deal of 20% off every single thing on the website if you use my link in the description down below. Ana Luisa is the perfect gift for you or anyone in your life this holiday season, and at the same time you can feel great about your purchase because Ana Luisa is committed to offsetting 100% of their carbon emissions, and they also produce their jewelry in limited batches to avoid excess waste. I so love Ana Luisa's commitment to sustainability because I'm always looking to shop more ethically, as we all should, and Ana Luisa's pieces are so high quality, elegant, and beautiful, and they're also very long lasting, so if you get a piece for yourself or someone in your life, you know that it will be a forever gift that they can cherish for a long time to come. Jewelry from Ana Luisa starts as low as $39 and goes up to more fine jewelry prices, so there is really something for every single budget and every single person, and for the quality of pieces you're getting from Ana Luisa, these prices are honestly a steal. This time around they sent me the Marie necklace in gold. It is a beautiful chain with little tiny circular crystals that go all the way around the necklace. It's very pretty and dainty and super easy to wear every day, and they also sent me the Marie bracelet which matches the Marie necklace. It's a little matching set, super cute. And I also got the Ana chain in gold as well, which is another chain with little tiny gold beads all the way around it. I'm super excited to wear all of these pieces, and I did put on the Marie necklace here, and it's so pretty and I just love it. It's so easy to wear with everything. So I am very grateful to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. They're such a great company and I'm so happy they wanted to work with me again. So I would definitely recommend checking out their website and use my link in the description down below for 20% off of your purchase, and go get all of that last minute holiday shopping done. Thank you once again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video and gifting me these beautiful pieces. Now let's get into the video. Alright, if you've been on this channel before, you know that I love championing queer books, so every single book on this list is queer in some way. I have split them further down into a couple categories just to make it easier. If you like reading in a particular genre and only want to watch that section, that is totally fine. I will leave timestamps in the description as well to make it easy for you. The first section we're going to talk about is queer fantasy books. The second section is going to be queer historical fiction, and then the third category is going to be queer contemporary books. That is what you can expect, and let's get right into it with the fantasy category. The first fantasy book I'm excited for is Another Dimension of Us by Mike Albo, and this book comes out on January 17th. This book is also a little bit historical as it takes place in the 1980s, and we're following our main character Tommy, who is in love with his best friend Ronaldo, but because of the time period and the AIDS crisis that's going on, he feels like he cannot share his feelings. But then one terrible night, Ronaldo is actually struck by lightning and turns into a whole nother boy. And then in an alternate universe, we're following another character named Pris, who wakes from a nightmare in 2044, having dreamt about Tommy and Ronaldo. She has this premonition to go to this place called the Murder House, where she finds a guide to transdimensional travel. Pris and Tommy's bodies and minds merge across the astral plane, and they race against time to save Ronaldo. This book sounds very wacky and difficult to explain, but it also sounds really cool. So I do like a good time travel, messing with time, weirdness. So I think this will be fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book I'm so excited for is Prince and Pawn by Tavia Lark. This book comes out on January 30th, and January 30th cannot come soon enough. This is the third and final installment in Tavia Lark's Perilous Court series. I read the first two books this year in 2022, and they're some of my favorite fantasy romance books that I've read all year. I think they are just excellent, so good, and I cannot wait for this final book. In this book, we're following Prince Audric, who is the eldest of the three brothers that this series revolves around. And Prince Audric will do anything for his kingdom, and even though he doesn't want a political marriage, he's kind of roped into one, and as a last hurrah before this political marriage, he goes out and hooks up with somebody. He really never expected this to haunt him, but haunt him it does. He cannot get this man out of his head. Forgetting Corn becomes even more difficult when Corn shows up in the entourage of the person Prince Audric is supposed to marry. This book sounds lovely and drama-filled, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I'm so excited. Tavia Lark is just new favorite author. This book's gonna be amazing. Next on my list is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This book comes out January 31st, and I really don't think it needs a a super long description. Everyone knows Cassandra Clare. This is her latest series, the Last Hour series, and it will be the third and final installment. I actually still have not read this series at all. I'm planning to do a reading vlog in January, reading all 3 of them, or I guess it'll probably come out in February since this book comes out on the 31st, but I am super excited to finally dive into this series. The Dark Artifices series was one of my favorites, so I can't wait to dive back into the Shadowhunter world and just be immersed in all that nostalgia and loveliness. The next book I'm looking forward to is The Wicked Bargain by Cole Novoa. This book comes out on February 28th, and in this book we're following Mar, who is a trans-masculine non-binary teen, and he is also a pirate, and he's hiding the ability to manipulate fire and ice, but their magic isn't enough to reverse a wicked bargain made by their father, and now El Diablo has come to collect his payment, the soul of Mar's father, and the entire crew of the ship. We love queer pirates, so I'm so excited for this book. It sounds so crazy and fun, and I can't wait. Next book I'm looking forward to is Raven Song by Kayla Faye. This book comes out on March 14th. This book is about a demigod who refuses to cohabitate with humans, but then accidentally falls in love with one. It's pitched as Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Celtic mythology, which sounds so freaking cool. So I'm super excited for this one. I believe it's sapphic if I am not incorrect. It sounds amazing and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Those are all the fantasy books that I am anticipating, so let's jump into all of the historical books. There's actually only 2 on this list, so it's not very long. Let's get into it. The first book is called One Night in Heartswood by Emma Denny, and this book comes out on January 19th. This book takes place in Oxford in 1360, so quite a long time ago, and this is an historical male-male romance with the anonymous trope. So it follows Pen and Raph, who meet in the Heartswood Forest. They do not know one another's identity, but they are very attracted to one another and share a moonlight kiss. Pen is escaping a life of cruelty and an arranged marriage to a woman he's never seen, while Raph is tracking the elusive missing groom of his sister to restore his family's honor. So we can kind of see where this is going, and neither men are looking for a traveling companion and unaware of their true respective identities. They both end up traveling together and find themselves drawn to each other in ways they never imagined possible. This book sounds so fun. I am really excited for it. I do love an anonymous trope every once in a while, and I think this one sounds so fun, so I can't wait to read it. And then the next book I'm looking forward to that is historical queer fiction is Something Spectacular by Alexis Hall. This book comes out on March 7th, and there's really not a ton of information out about this book yet because Alexis Hall writes so many books that he just hasn't put out a description for this one yet, I guess. But it is the second book in the Something Fabulous series, and it's going to be following Penny and Arabella, who we met in the first book. Arabella is Bonnie's sister, and Penny is like her friend and maybe lover. So I'm excited for this book. I really loved the first one. It's not a favorite of a lot of people, but I really thought it was a good time, so I am definitely looking forward to the sequel. Alright, and now let's move into the contemporary category. First book I need to mention is Maniac by Only James. This book comes out on January 17th. This is the 7th and final book in Only James's Necessary Evil series. I'm sure you've heard my pitch before if you've been on my channel, but this book follows the Mulvaney family, who are 7 brothers that exhibited psychopathic tendencies as children, and so they are adopted by Thomas Mulvaney, their pseudo-father, and trained to be vigilante killers to take out the bad guys in society that slip through the cracks. So in each book is each brother's respective romance, and the 7th and final book is going to be following Aiden, who is kind of the outcast brother. He's been mysterious, not super talked about in the rest of the series. He was adopted when he was older, and this one's going to be pretty taboo. So if you're not into that, we won't get into it, but I am interested to see how Only handles this one because I feel like she like toes the line of taboo sometimes, but I feel like it never gets to the point of like feeling taboo. So I'm not quite sure how this one is going to go, but I'm excited to see how she handles it and if I like it as much as the other books in the series. Next book I'm looking forward to is Sorry Bro by Talene Voskuni. This book comes out on January 31st. This book follows Nar, who at the beginning of the story, her boyfriend proposes to her in a room full of drunk San Francisco tech boys, and Nar realizes this is not it. She needs to find someone else who shares her idea of romance. So her mother convinces her to go back to her roots and visit Armenia, but in Armenia, Nar does not meet a mom-approved doctor or engineer. It's Bunny. Nar is not exactly out as bisexual, so will she be brave enough to claim her identity and her own happiness for the first time in her life? I'm always looking for new sapphic romances, and this one sounds so good, and I'm so excited for it. And the cover is so beautiful, so I cannot wait to get my hands on on this one. Next book on my list is Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. This book comes out on February 2nd and is going to be the final installment in the Heartstopper graphic novel series following the romance of Nick and Charlie. I can't believe that the series is coming to an end, and I cannot wait to read the last installment, and I'm so excited for the next season of the TV show, which should be out next year as well. Just Heartstopper love all around. Literally one of the best stories in the world. I'm so obsessed, and I cannot wait for this final volume. The next book I'm excited for is 6 Times We Almost Kissed and the One Time We Did by Tess Sharp. This book comes out on February 2nd, and it follows Penny and Tate, who have always clashed despite their mothers being best friends, but they decide to declare an uneasy truce when their single moms decide to combine their households for a summer after one donates a liver to the other. But there's only one hitch in their plan. Penny and Tate keep almost kissing. This sounds like a super cute and fun YA romance. I think it's going to have enemies to lovers vibes and forced proximity, which is always fun. I'm super looking forward to this one. I've always been interested in the books that Tess Sharp puts out. She puts out a lot of queer YA books, but I've never actually read any of them. So hopefully I will actually get around to this one because I think it sounds so good. Next book on my list is Olympic Enemies by Rebecca Caffrey. This book comes out on February 6th and sounds iconic. This sounds like an amalgamation of so many of my favorite male-male romances. This book follows Oliver and Lucas, and they're forced to share a room at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, and they have always been enemies and rivals, so they're not so happy about this arrangement, especially when their fighting turns to kissing and is caught on camera and becomes headlines. So now it's not just Olympic gold on the line, it is also their hearts. So this book sounds so fun. I love an enemies to rivals sports romance trope, plus the shared room. Like, this book has all the good tropes, so I'm so excited for it, and I really hope it lives up to my expectations because I will admit they're pretty high. Another book I'm looking forward to is Always the Almost by Edward Underhill. This book comes out on February 14th, and it follows a trans pianist who makes a New Year's resolution on a frozen Wisconsin night to win regionals as well as win back his ex, but then a new boy he has a crush on starts to complicate things. I don't know too much about this, but I'm always looking for good books with trans rep, so I'm super excited for this one, and it sounds super cute and just like a fun, sweet YA contemporary, so I definitely will be picking this one up when it comes out. And last but certainly not least on my list, I have Something Wild and Wonderful by Anita Kelly. This book comes out on March 7th. I loved Anita Kelly's contemporary romance release this year, Love and Other Disasters, so I'm very much looking forward to her next release, especially because this book is a grumpy sunshine romance featuring 2 men's journey along the Pacific Coast Trail, which sounds so cool. This book follows Alexi and Ben, whose fates keep getting intertwined when they keep meeting along the Pacific Coast Trail, and there are definitely worse things in life than falling in love during the biggest adventure of your life, but when their plans for the future are turned upside down, Ben and Alexi begin to wonder if it's possible to hold on to this wonderful thing that they have found. I love a grumpy sunshine trope. If you missed it, I did release a grumpy sunshine recommendations video recently, so check that out if you also love this trope, but I'm super excited for this book. Like I mentioned, I love Anita Kelly's other works that I've read so far, so I think this one will be a winner as well. And those are all my most anticipated releases for 2023, specifically in January, February, and March. I'm sure this is not a comprehensive list, and I've probably missed something really cool, so if I did and you know about it, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking for good new books, especially if they're queer. Also, if you're not already, I would love if you would subscribe to this channel for more content. I would really appreciate you sticking around. You can also like this video if you liked it. It helps support my channel. And speaking of supporting my channel, thank you so much to Anna Luisa for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to click my link in the description for 20% off your order and go and get you or your loved ones some lovely, beautiful, elegant holiday gifts. And that is all for me today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.